Morning, Jesse. We're keeping an eye on the Thanksgiving forecast, but before we can get there, we got to start the short work week and looking at potential fog impacts for your Monday commute.
Yeah, right. We have fairly active weather out there right now. Already seen moisture move in, and that's kind of triggered some fog developing already before the midnight hour. So we're seeing some dense fog in Greenville right now. The weather camera picking that up. Certainly, you can see very risky conditions if you're driving out there right now. So be very careful. Make sure you have your low beams on so you can actually see, and other cars can see you as well. Do not try to blind them with your high beams. 39 degrees is the temperature right now in Dayton. The winds pushing through out of the north at about 5 or 6 miles per hour here right now, and we are keeping an eye on this fog because everyone's dealing with at least some bit of a haze, but the densest fog is located off towards the north, especially between Wapakoneta, Sidney, Greenville, Mount Fountain. So if you're off towards the north of I-70 right now, that's where we're likely seeing the densest fog. But as I mentioned, more and more of this expected to develop as we go throughout the remainder of the overnight hours. And right now we sit on a boundary between some warmer and cooler air, and the places off towards the north of Dayton that have seen that cooler air move in is actually where the fog is developing, because all of us have dew point temperatures right around the mid-30s. So in order to have the fog develop, you need temperatures to also be in about the mid-30s, and that's exactly what we're seeing in these locations where the fog is located. 34 degrees both in Wapak and Sidney right now off towards the south, where temperatures are still holding on to about the 40s. We've only seen visibility dip to about 5 miles here. And we actually are starting to see some light precipitation develop, and that will continue also as we go throughout the overnight hours here. We have a frontal boundary that's kind of dipping towards the south and moisture moving over top of that. And we're actually seeing more and more of that precipitation as that moisture moves over top of this cold front. So right now affecting St. Louis, but already beginning to move into southern Indiana. And this will be affecting us here very soon throughout actually the next couple of hours and into the morning hours here for tomorrow. So hourly forecast is showing these temperatures staying very steady right around 35 or 36 degrees throughout the overnight hours and even into the good portion of the morning hours there tomorrow. But it's showers and fog, especially overnight and into the morning hours, that you're going to want to pay attention to. And that's, as I mentioned, because we have warm air and moisture that's climbing over top of this cold front. As it does so, it's condensing, producing those showers, and that's going to be moving into our region here as we go into the morning hours, possibly if temperatures are cold enough, mixing in with some snow, especially off towards the north of Dayton. So this is what it's looking like throughout the overnight hours. We have that precipitation moving in, and actually that freezing line is going to be right to the north of Dayton, where we could possibly see snow showers off towards the north here and rain showers towards the south. I think Dayton mostly sees rain showers, but we could possibly see a snowflake or two fly as we go into the morning hours when temperatures are at their lowest. Once we get beyond sunrise and we start to pick up the heat a little bit, most of us are going to be looking at mostly rain showers, if anything is left over, as we go into the afternoon hours. But the fog that we have out there right now expected to continue to develop. Once we get into about 3 a.m., that's where we have that rain shower move through, and that's actually going to disrupt slightly some of the fog that will develop off towards the south. But it does look like off towards the north right now, where we're seeing the densest fog, that will continue even as we go into sunrise here. So this is when kids are likely heading off to school. That's when we really are seeing that dense fog stick around. So overnight tonight, 35 degrees below, showers developing, moving in, and foggy as well. And as I mentioned, we could possibly see some snowflakes moving in along with that here as well. By the time we get into Thanksgiving, 43 degrees for the high temperature, and we also have sunshine along with that. Make sure you tune in to News Center 7's Daybreak edition starting at 4:25. Meteorologist Kirsty Zantini will have the latest to help you plan your day, John.
A local organization is letting you pay whatever you want for a furry friend this Black Friday, where you can go to name your price this week. There is plenty of room